Good evening. A man has been pulled from the water in Perthshire after he was trapped in rapids for over an hour this afternoon. It's understood the kayaker began to struggle when he tried to retrieve a paddle. He's believed to be in his 50s and was airlifted to hospital in Aberdeen. His condition isn't known. Rescue services were called to Clooney Dam at the end of Loch Tummel after the man went into the water nearby. He was with 13 other members of the Edinburgh Kayak Club who went to his aid. Scotland's Housing Minister is calling for VAT to be exempt on work to remove combustible cladding from high-rise buildings. Kevin Stewart has written to the Treasury saying it would be immoral for the UK government to make money in the wake of the Grenfell tragedy. The Treasury says it's providing financial support to councils. Suzanne Allen reports.
On the 14th of June last year, 71 people were killed after a ferocious fire ripped through Grenfell Tower in London. The aluminium composite cladding is thought to have contributed to the rapid spread of the blaze. Afterwards, safety reviews were carried out on hundreds of buildings. The Prime Minister has committed to spending around £400 million to pay for councils and housing associations to replace the potentially dangerous material on tower blocks.
But the owners of private buildings will have to pay for the repairs themselves. The cost of replacing the cladding on the flats here at Glasgow Harbour will be met by the developers. And at the moment, that's still eligible for VAT. And it's that the Scottish Government wants to see waived.
I've written to the Financial Secretary of the Treasury to ask him to make those folks in private residences who have aluminium composite material cladding on their buildings exempt from VAT for those repairs. The Scottish Government has long campaigned for an end to VATs on repair and refurbishment of buildings. And in this case, I think it would be immoral for the Treasury to take in money from VAT for these kind of repairs.
The Treasury gave us this statement.
We're providing £1 million of financial support to help local authorities identify privately owned buildings affected by unsafe cladding, and we'll continue to work with them to ensure that safety measures are put in place.
The independent public inquiry into the circumstances leading up to and surrounding the Grenfell Tower fire is ongoing. Suzanne Allen, reporting Scotland.
A 35-year-old man's being treated in hospital after he was attacked in Perth in the early hours of this morning. It's believed 3 suspects were involved in the assault, which happened in the South Street area. Football and Scotland were beaten 1-0 by Mexico in the final match of their mini-tour of the Americas. Despite the defeat, manager Alex McLeish says the players in his makeshift squad have all enhanced their reputations. Our reporter Chris McLaughlin sent this from the Azteca Stadium.
Another defeat. In fairness, it was expected, but there were signs of hope from this young Scotland squad against very experienced hosts. This was Callum Patterson with an early effort on target, already an improvement on Peru. But a few minutes later, the goal came. Not great defensively, and Dos Santos with the finish. It was backs to the wall for the rest of the first half, with the woodwork preventing another. After the break, Scotland came so close though. Ollie McBurney with the header from a Johnny Russell cross. Mexico also hit the woodwork again before the game was over. They dominated the 90 minutes in fairness, but in difficult conditions, Scotland kept it respectable.
There's a few of them gave me food for thought in terms of the games that are coming up in September. So I don't think any single guy let us down at all. I was proud of every one of the players, and they did Scotland proud. I really feel that they can hold their heads up.
So the much maligned transatlantic trip is now over. It's 2 defeats, but the manager is looking on the bright side. This trip was never his idea in the first place. Remember, key players pulled out. He will get back on the plane with this squad bruised, but determined to take the positives. Chris McLaughlin reporting Scotland in Mexico City.
And now it's over to Gillian with the forecast for tonight and the start of the week.
Sally, thank you. Good evening to you. A lot of fine, dry and sunny weather to come this week, particularly from Tuesday onwards. Tomorrow we'll see some heavy and possibly thundery showers around, much like we had today across west and central Scotland. But tonight those showers are fading. Most places will be dry. Overnight we'll see some mist, low cloud fog feeding in to North Sea coasts and pushing inland, and it will be a fairly mild night for most, a wee bit chillier in the far north. So tomorrow we'll start the day with a good deal of low cloud and some mist and fog in places, but that will lift, cloud will thin and break, some good spells of sunshine developing. But once that does happen, once again, the heat will trigger some heavy and potentially thundery downpours, really some torrential thundery downpours possible with hail in the mix as well. And we have a yellow be aware warning from the Met Office. That risk will continue across western and southwest Scotland through the afternoon, some poor driving conditions. Elsewhere across the UK, predominantly dry, quite misty and cool conditions still around those North Sea coasts. The best of the sunshine and the highest temperatures will be in the west. As we head into Tuesday, we're still under the influence of high pressure, rather a lot of cloud to start the day, and that cloud will be pretty stubborn across western areas, but it will go, it will lift, it will thin and break once again. Good spells of sunshine right across the country on Tuesday, and it will become warm, especially across western parts. Still a cooler feel in the east with a bit of a breeze off the North Sea, and a repeat performance for Wednesday, dry and bright, some good spells of sunshine. That's the forecast. Sally.
Gillian, thank you very much. And that's all from us tonight, from everyone here on the Weekend Team. Good night.